is in 2 days. There's so much to learn, there's so much to focus on, it sometimes can be overwhelming. So let's simplify and emerge with one theme. Rebbetzin Yemima Mizrahi brings down a beautiful idea. She says on Rosh Hashana, we read a Torah reading each day. Each one is relevant and meaningful, but both are about Yitzchak, interestingly. On day 1, we read about his birth. His mother Sarah was barren for 75 years, and suddenly she has a son named Yitzchak, which actually means in Hebrew, he will laugh. What's so funny? Why? Because it's hilarious. This 75-year-old woman, out of nowhere, has a son. It's miraculous. On day 2, we read about the binding of Yitzchak. Please take your son, says Hashem, your only son, the one that you love, Yitzchak, and bring him as a burnt offering, as it says in Bereshis. So if I had to choose, I would say that the second reading about the binding of Yitzchak is much more relevant to Rosh Hashana, and it's about making God king. I do whatever he wants, even when I don't understand it. But it's really the first day when we're judged on a personal level, not the second day. The second day is much more about judgment of the world on a macro level. So what can we learn from this? It seems like the readings are misplaced. It seems like that reading should really be on the second day. The reading for the first day ties right into our personal judgment. Rosh Hashana is all about making God king over us, to let God guide our lives rather than think we have it under control. And let's be honest, we often think, God, you're great, you run the world beautifully, but when it comes to my life, I've got it covered. I really know what's best. That's what we really think. Hashem says, it's beautiful. He says, you think devotion means sacrificing your child? It's difficult, indeed, and painful. But it's 1,000 times more difficult to be a woman who waits 75 years for a child and doesn't lose faith. That enduring devotion is 1,000 times more valuable than a one-off trial, even though that's incredible. To wait and wait and wait and remain bound to Hashem. Wow. It's unbelievable. For 75 years, Sarah would buy, as if a pregnancy test, and run each time to check, and she was disappointed over and over again. Do you know what it's like to be bound to Hashem, to say to him, listen, God, this life isn't exactly what I wanted. Didn't happen exactly the way I needed it to, or what I thought I needed. But I'm not running away from you. I'm bound to you. I trust that there is a bigger picture, and I don't understand it all, and that you know and that you love me. The sages also tell us that Yitzchak was not afraid to die. The two of them walked together, it says. And then suddenly, Yitzchak asked his father Abraham to get some rope and tie him up. And he says, I'm afraid I might run away. Yitzchak wasn't afraid to die. He was afraid that at the moment of trial, before it was over, he might run away from Hashem. He was afraid he might say, Hashem, I can't take the waiting. Yitzchak wasn't afraid of death. He was afraid of the waiting, of the unknown. Another date, another fertility treatment, another job offer, another exam. How long will I not know? How long will I need to wait? On Rosh Hashana, we get the opportunity to be heroes, to show Hashem that we are bound to him, that we're loyal, we're faithful, we want to do what's right, what is good, to follow this path, even and especially when we don't know how long we will wait, and even when we don't get what we want in the way that we want it. And it's only in those moments when we show up despite the circumstance and say, I'm here, I'm in this with you regardless, for the long haul. It's only here that we've actually become our greatest potential and a vessel capable of receiving all the blessings that God really wants to give us. Should have a Shana Tova, a sweet and happy new year. It should be blessed. And I hope to see everyone at Sol's tomorrow night, Tuesday night, at the Carlton Hotel, 7:30, before the big day.